in his way tonight is Jeremiah Reno. We saw Jeremiah at the Cliff Keen invite when Liam Cronin, the usual 125 starter for Nebraska, was out due to injury. And now he will get the start against Schroder, and Schroder attacks right away. This is a big test here for the freshman from Kansas City, Kelby.
Yes, you got that right. And, his prep career, he was 179-0, four-time Missouri State champ. So he's up to the task. He's well-rounded, has a lot of accolades. So he's not afraid to go out and wrestle a guy of Devin Schroder's caliber.
Reno 3-5 on the year. And when he was at the Cliff King invite in Las Vegas, he did not place. Won his opening match, but then lost the last two.
But he came out, he beat Greg Diakomahalis of Cornell 4-3, and even little wins like that, victories like that can propel you, give you confidence to wrestle even the tougher kids like Devin Schroder.
And this is his first real season of action. He went 1-2 in extra matches last year when the Big Ten allowed that during the COVID-19 shortened season. Tied at 0 with number 5 Devin Schroder. A little over a minute into the opening period between Nebraska and Purdue.
And aside from that opening takedown in the first 10 seconds, or attempt, I should say, Schroder hasn't really been, as now they just ding Reno for stalling. You'd like Schroder, leader of the team, 5th in the nation, to be a little more aggressive here and get an early takedown or two against somebody like Reno.
And I think having someone that good at 125, it gets you a jump start. It sets the tone for the rest of the duel. And based on what we've seen in opening starting lineups with Nebraska being shorthanded a little bit, this is a bigger match than what initially was assumed.
Yeah, I agree. 125, the guy you run out there kickstarts your team. You look at the better teams like Iowa, who runs out Spencer Lee and DeSanto. That really gets the team's going. The rest of the lineup follows, and it just gets the good jump start, the juices flowing for your dual squad.
2-0 Schroder leads, a little under a minute to go in this opening period, and he's well in control on top. Almost 30 seconds of ride time.
Yeah, this is where Devin Schroder wants to be. If you're Reno here, maybe scoot off the mat there, get a fresh start. So they do stalemate it here, so they'll bring it back. Here's where Reno's got to just get up and out, try to get hand control, and explode off the whistle here so Schroder doesn't get him in position to turn him.
Schroder 11-1 on the year, including 7-0 in duels, and that only loss is coming to number 1 Patrick Glory, who he lost to in that Cliff Keen invite final. I mean, these are some big weights early on for Purdue. They're combined 21-0 in duels so far at 125, 133, and 141. And if you're Purdue, you need Schroder to get a bonus point win in what on paper looks like a lopsided matchup.
Yeah, agreed with you, Jeff, there. If you're looking at Purdue to try to steal a dual win here, this guy needs to step it up for your program and for the team here.
First period comes to an end. Schroder racks up a minute 14 of riding time and leads 2-0. Reno will defer to Schroder, and Schroder will go on bottom to begin. And there's the escape.
Right in on a shot. Good to see from Schroder. Get the escape, go right in on the attack. Try to extend this lead, like you were saying. Get some bonus points here in this first match.
There's another takedown for Schroder. It's quickly 5-0 for the senior from Grand Rapids, Michigan, and looking to get Reno on his back. Reno fighting hard, but Schroder grinding away at the freshman.
Yeah, he's going to look to put it away right here.
And there it is, prime position, and Reno gets back on his stomach momentarily, but 4 near fall for Schroder, and it's 9-0 with a minute 10 remaining second period.
And there you go. That was big. Feet to back almost, and get the 4 points near fall, which is a new thing in the past few years, so that's nice to see more guys going for turns.
And Schroder, like you mentioned, Kelby, 2-time Big Ten tournament finalist, losing both times to Spencer Lee. First two-time finalist for Purdue since Ryan Lange in 2003 and 2004.
Yeah, Tony Ersland, the head coach over there at Purdue, he's got some good things going for this program. A lot of top to bottom, got a lot of good wrestlers. They had 8 qualifiers last year, so for the 3rd time in a row. So he's got the program up and coming.
And there is a stall point on Reno, so now 10-0 Schroder. And he's less than 30 seconds away from locking up the riding time. He has over 2.5.
Yeah, Schroder here just probably looking to ride this out. You'd like another turn, 5 points shy of a tech fall. He's already got 5 of them this year, so nothing new to him to end the match early.
In the end of the second, it is 10-0. Schroder leads it. Really not a lot of hope for Reno unless he gets a pin.
Which, hey, he was good at that in high school. Of his 179 wins, he had 132 by fall. So, or excuse me, he had 130 by fall. So, if someone's going to get a pin, he might be one of those guys. So, Schroder's just got to stay in good position here and work his offense.
Schroder is used to winning by a bunch. If this result holds, it would be his 8th bonus point win of the year. 7 of his 11 wins have come via bonus points. I mean, he's used to it in his career. 26 tech falls and 19 major decisions as another takedown for Schroder.
Yeah, he puts points on the board, which is what you like to see, especially a senior. And like we were saying earlier, set the tone for the rest of the duel. He comes out, he normally puts bonus points on the board for your team.
And I mean, Schroder's a guy who's going to throw his hat in the ring in terms of competing for a national championship. Still a work to do, but with Spencer Lee out for the year, and it ranked at number 5, just a little outside looking in, but certainly had the capability to make a run in the national championship come March.
Yeah, good point, Jeff. You got Devin here. Yeah, he may have got beat a little bit by Pat Glory, but that just fuels to the fire. He's going to go back, look at that tape, see what he can improve on, and next time they meet, hopefully close the gap.
And more near fall coming for Schroder to look and lock up this duel. And the referee's got 4 in his hand right now, but now looking for the pin is Schroder. But no, and that's going to do it. 4 points added on, and it's a tech fall for Devin Schroder. Add on the riding time bonus point, and it's a 17-0 tech fall for Schroder to open up this duel, and it's 5-0 Boilermakers after match 1.
If you're Nebraska, this is a guy you want to run out here at this time in the match. Crowd's kind of silent, kind of stunned at what's transpired here, but Ridge, he comes out and he lights it up. He likes to get the crowd on its feet. He's an entertainer. So I expect big things from him in this match.
He said it in the preseason interviews. He likes to entertain. 36-14 career record, and he's 10-3 this year, including 3-0 in duels. And if you're Mark Mann, you're just telling him, get me a bonus point win.
Which, really, you don't even really need to say that because Ridge is looking for that every time.
Yeah, he's already thinking about that all the time. Has Kruse on one leg, looking for the trip. Does, and gets the takedown. And I believe that's the first time a Cornhusker has led tonight.
That's the first offensive point they've scored other than 3 escapes.
And now Lovett looking for near fall. And this is where you like to see Lovett work. Really good at riding on top. He has pushed a lot of top guys with the way he works on top.
Yeah, he's got that leg in. Really works hard with that. That puts a lot of pressure on your opponent. When you got the leg in, you got him carrying your entire weight of your body. Just wears him out. He's got both legs in now.
Kruse 4-13 on the year, 2-7 in duels. Excuse me, that's his career record. This year's record, he's 2-8, 2-4 in duels.
now the script has kind of flipped a little bit. So now you got Ridge heavily favored, working to get bonus points. Kruse, on the other hand, trying to do as best he could for the team, try to keep it within a decision if he can.
Under a minute to go. Lovett leads 2-0, and he's got a minute and a half of riding time already. Kruse holding strong on bottom at the moment. But Lovett continue to grinds it out.
And he's putting a lot of pressure on Kruse. I mean, there's no points being scored here, but you can bet that Kruse's getting worked, and he's running a bar arm there. Tries the other side for a half. Oh, and looks like he almost has it.
Looking to get him on his back, but cannot. And now a stall warning hit on Kruse. Over 2 minutes of riding time already for Lovett as we count down the final seconds of this opening period. And I think the one thing Lovett's going to be disappointed in is that the match wasn't over within the first period.
Yeah, yep, he likes to finish it early. But on the other side, like to see him go as long as he can, get that conditioning going for when later on in the tournament or in the season when you're wrestling full matches. But I have to agree, he wants to finish every match early if he could.
Lovett will start on bottom.
Good little ride here by Kruse, putting hand, the pressure on Lovett's hands, but
looking for the reversal, and Lovett is going to get it.
Just got a little too high there. Lovett took advantage. Back to working that leg in. He almost got something in that first period, so he's probably going to be working to get a turn here.
Already closing in on 2.5 minutes of riding time for Lovett. I mean, Lovett's a high upside guy for this Nebraska team. Was runner-up last year at the Big Ten Championships, losing to Sammy Sasso of Ohio State 5-2 in that final.
Yeah, had a good run at the Big Ten tournament. Was seated I believe like 7th. Ran the table to the finals and surprised some people, but I'll tell you what, he didn't surprise himself. This is where he thinks he can be.
Well, last year was a weird year for Lovett. He was in between weights. There wasn't a spot for him really on the active roster till later in the year, and that's when he took advantage, and that's partly why he was seated so low at the Big Ten Championships, and he gets another takedown.
He's got that leg Turk now. He's got those legs split. Now he's running up for a half. He's going to cut him again.
They try to rack it up. Riding time close to 3 minutes. 6-1 is the lead.
Kruse just dives right in. Good defensive tactic there. Manning doesn't like it, but he's got a cradle locked up now. Head in the hole.
And there it is. Oh, he's off the mat. Wow. Had Kruse in dangerous position, but saved by the white boundary line.
Right to the leg in. Started on the right side and then switched real quick and threw the leg in on the other side.
Lovett will ride it out, and he leads 6-1 at the end of the second period. It looks to be well in control, and at this point, he's just aiming for a bonus point win. And if you're Mark Manning, you're hoping that comes via a pin and cut that Purdue lead in half. Escape for Kruse, but he was mostly led up by Lovett.
Yeah, he went optional start. Tried to see maybe if he could get Kruse to get out of position or to stand up a little lazily, and didn't, so just let him go. Now in on another shot. Real quick shuck by there. That was quick. Right in with the leg in, and here's looking for a turn.
Lovett trying to rack it up. Riding. Time bonus point already locked up. That's enough for a major. Minute to go in this third period. Huskers looking for another stall here. Kruse's already hit with one. And there is 1 point for Kruse, I think, for Lovett just running off the side of the mat there.
He got an escape, it looks like. And
oh, they call that escape?
Yeah. Lovett got a little high there, and Kruse just slipped out the back door. And
Lovett needs another takedown if he wants a major here.
Yeah, very good point there, Jeff. I mean, it's now, that was a big escape. Now it's only 9-3, 10-3 with riding time. Lovett needs an escape.
Nope, he needs some urgency here, and there he goes. Lets up, looked a little too high. He's got 10 seconds. Wow. 10-3 the win for Ridge Lovett. But the bigger storyline there is it is not a bonus point win, but it's a win nonetheless. Huskers still trail Purdue 12-3 after 4 matches. We'll take a break. You're watching Big Ten Wrestling on Big Ten Plus. And that starts with Mikey Labriola, ranked 3rd in the country. Undefeated on the year at 10-0, including only 1 dual win. He was out with COVID-19 at the beginning of the year. The reason he did not wrestle in the Nebraska duels against UNK and Chadron State, but he is back to his old ways of winning. He has 92 career wins here at Nebraska compared to 31 losses. But right now, Gerrit Nijenhuis gets a takedown on Labriola.
And he's got that Turk in too here, looking for back points, but Labriola got his leg out.
Nijenhuis 11-8 on the season, including 4-3 in duels, 8th at the Cliff Keen Invite, and most recently 5th at the Mattman Open. And I mean, he was ranked last year in his first collegiate season, went 11-7, and was ranked as high as 18th. He even qualified for the NCAA tournament, and in fact, the first true freshman to do that for Purdue since Christian Bruner in 2017.
Yeah, he was named Purdue's most outstanding freshman, so they got high hopes for Nijenhuis. And big task here, though, against Labriola. He won after he won that Cliff Keen. He was Big Ten Wrestler of the Week. So, like you were saying, Labriola getting a hot start here.
Labriola first at the Daktronics Open, first at Cliff Keen. And in route to that title in Las Vegas, beat 3 ranked opponents, including a sudden victory win over Ethan Smith of Ohio State in that final, arguably the most compelling match out of all those finals in Vegas.
Yeah, and there were some compelling ones to watch, but yeah, that one has to be right up there as one of the best.
And potentially dangerous is called. We're going to reset. 2-1, Nijenhuis leads over Labriola. Nijenhuis is ranked number 21.
Nice little ankle pick there. He just dove right in, cupped that ankle. Now it's Nijenhuis' turn to try to fight off a shot. Labriola's done a good job fighting off a couple shots here early. Wizard hard there and just looked like he may have lost the grip there too on the ankle, and good defense there from Nijenhuis.
I mean, Labriola has just been very, very consistent throughout his career at Nebraska. And I mean, I mean, I think one of the bigger examples is last year at the NCAA is a performance that Nebraska was just very, very disappointing in. A lot of high-ranked guys who didn't even place. Well, Labriola, on the other hand, he was third at the NCAAs.
Yeah, and that's a good word to use about Labriola. He's consistent. You know what you're going to get out of him. You know, he came out. He was the only one who won the Cliff Keen, won the Daktronics, third place last year at the NCAAs. You know what you're going to get from him every time he wrestles.
And right now, trying to make up as he trails 2-1.
Oh, there's the splits. That's always so tough to defend there when you got somebody in on the splits. Labriola might need to get to his feet here. Try to drag him in. Looks like they're just going to wait out the period.
And they do, and Nijenhuis leads it 2-1 as we go into period number 2. Interesting situation we have. Labriola will start on bottom.
He's been in on a couple deep shots. Labriola has been. It's not going to end 2-1. I'll tell you that. Labriola puts points on the board.
And yeah, Nijenhuis is part of that young group that Purdue has coming through. Of course, having 4 super seniors, but they do have some young guys as well. And Nijenhuis is one of those guys. I mean, even his 5th place finish at the Big Tens last year was the best finish by a true freshman for Purdue since 1987.
Yeah, and that Tony Ersland, head coach of Purdue, he's trying to build a program there, build a culture that one guy leaves, he can insert somebody else and just continue the train moving forward. There was a shot by Nijenhuis and good defense once again. He breaks the grip and he's just going to continue to keep trying to circle around.
Yep, there's the 2 for Labriola. He finally takes the lead with 1:15 left in the second period. And there's the escape. 4-3.
Not much of a real threat of a ride there by Labriola. I think he thinks he's pretty comfortable on his feet. So he's looking to get another takedown here before the period ends. But Nijenhuis, give him credit. Man, he's still coming at him. He's still coming at Labriola.
I mean, Labriola is not a big 174 by any means. Stands about 5'8", but man, he can move.
And that's evident right here. He's getting into the scramble positions and trying to hit some go-behinds there. He's light on his feet.
Yep. Ten seconds left in the second period. And at the end of 2 periods, Labriola takes the lead 4-3. Yeah, but Nijenhuis will start on the bottom. Riding time really not a factor, 15 seconds in favor of Labriola.
A little head start there by Labriola. Again, not a real ride there by Labriola, so that just kind of tells you the confidence he has on his feet as he's in on another shot. Nijenhuis with a nice counterattack, but neither one could really finish yet. Got to give props to Nijenhuis here. It's 4-4. He's fended off a lot of attacks by Labriola. Great defense, and even took got a takedown of his own in the first period. Right in this match where one takedown could be the deciding factor.
Labriola threw Nijenhuis to the ground. Nijenhuis back to his feet halfway through the third period. I mean, Nijenhuis was highly recruited out of high school, was the 18th overall recruit. And now Nijenhuis has Labriola on his back momentarily in an awkward position.
Scramble position here. Labriola's got to be careful here. Nijenhuis coming out the back door, turns into him here. Might be able to get him, and he does.
Wow. Gerrit Nijenhuis takes the lead over Mikey Labriola with 25 seconds to go.
Nijenhuis does have a stall call on him.
Labriola needs to get up. And Nijenhuis doing a terrific job. It's going to be the upset of the night. One of the biggest upsets of the season so far. Gerrit Nijenhuis defeats Mikey Labriola 6-4. He gets a takedown with 25 seconds to go in the match in Purdue. In a match they just weren't favored. Wins it, and they extend their lead to 15-9. Mikey Labriola losing to Gerrit Nijenhuis 6-4. The biggest upset of the night by far, and it puts Purdue in a big position here. And Kelby, if I'm thinking this through right, this Nebraska, it's a must-need win through the rest of the three matches. It's a must-win.
Yes, yeah, you got that right. You cannot stress the importance of this match in the team race. You know, Purdue with the win would go up by 9, and then you need 2 bonus points. So this is a big match, but you got a senior coming out. He's got to set the tone here. Taylor Venz in his home arena here needs to get this done. He's 3-0 career against Max Lyon.
Venz, Taylor Venz from Farmington, Minnesota, one of the 5 super seniors to come back with his extra year of eligibility. He is 10-2 on the year, including 3-0 in duels. Finished runner-up at Cliff Keen after losing to Ohio State's Caleb Romero in the final, and that was quite an upset at the time. And now in a must-win situation. And, I mean, these are 2 super seniors. Max Lyon for Purdue from Dyersville, Iowa, home of the Field of Dreams. The redshirt senior, 8-5 on the season, was 7th at Cliff Keen, and he did not place at the Boatman Open. And Kelby, like you mentioned, 3-0 against Lyon. And Venz, he's been good so far this year. Last season, struggled a little bit en route to a 9-5 year. But even head coach Mark Manning said Venz has had a really, really good offseason.
Yeah, and you know, last year, Venz, that's probably one of the little motivating factors of coming back. Just an unusual year, and it was different for everybody. So as you see Lyon in on a shot here, so now it's Venz trying to get his leg back and defend. Lyon picking his head up. That's where you want to be if you're Max Lyon. Sitting on his butt. He needs to swim through there. Needs to get that hip over and get his belt buckle down to the mat, facing the mat. Venz doing a good job fending this off here.
And we have a stalemate. And we'll go back to the center, tied at 0. And like you mentioned, Kelby, last year, not the greatest year for Taylor Venz. He was injured throughout the middle of the season, came back to finish runner-up at the Big Ten Championships, but did not place at the NCAA tournament. As Max Lyon now has Venz on his back momentarily, it's a takedown nonetheless, and a 2-0 lead from the Iowa native.
Yeah, Venz went in. Looked like he got in on a shot, and Lyon headlocked him to his back. Venz tried to roll through, but Lyon was able to stay on top there, and now he's going to finish off this first period on top.
So Lyon gets a late takedown. That's been the theme of these Purdue wins as of late. Late takedowns. And Lyon takes a 2-0 lead going into period 2.
Yeah, late takedown and the ride out, which is crucial as well. To finish the period on top, that's a big momentum going into the other periods. Finishing on top just sets you up. You don't give any points up to your opponent either that way.
There's the escape for Lyon.
Good job of hand control there, creating space with his hips and able to get away, turn and face for that escape point.
Max Lyon is a 3-time NCAA qualifier, was 9-8 last season, but that's mostly due to his schedule. He wrestled ranked opponents in 16 of his 17 regular season matchups.
Yeah, tough schedule there, but if you're Max Lyon, you'd like to get a few more of those under your belt. That's not an excuse for him personally to be 9-8. He knows he wants to do better. Coming back here, that's one of his goals. End up on that podium. All-American, that's, coming, getting an NCAA, going to the tournament, that's nice and all, but he's looking for more, just like Taylor Venz.
Venz is also an All-American. Did not place last year, but he is a 2-time All-American. Of course, he was awarded first-team All-American during the COVID-shortened year where the NCAA tournament was canceled, but then was 4th at the NCAAs his freshman season when he went 29-9 and was the first freshman since 2012 to earn All-American honors for the Cornhuskers. He did that alongside Chad Redd Jr.
And at a heavier weight, 184, that's a tough weight to come in as a freshman and earn All-American honors, especially 4th place. Tough ask, and he delivered. Unfortunately, he's fallen short last couple of years, so there's got to be a fire in his belly to reach the podium again this year.
Right now, he trails Max Lyon 3-0 as we edge closer to the end of the second period.
As Lyon once again in on the shot, needs to get his head up, but Venz doing a good job of flattening him out. Now looking to lock up a cradle.
And Lyon extends his lead by 1. He leads it 3-0. A comeback certainly not out of the question here for Venz, but there really hasn't been much that he's shown throughout this match to make us think otherwise.
Yeah, that's a good point. Lyon has been the aggressor here, but Venz has it in him to fire off that one shot. He needs to get out first, but he knows, we've seen it. He has that one shot that can take down Lyon. He just needs to get to it, needs to get out first, but then he needs to get to his offense.
9 of his 10 victories has come via bonus points for Venz this season.
Oh, he's favoring that right shoulder.
Right now, he's on the mat, getting up to his feet, but he is clearly in pain. And Kelby, that right shoulder. And that's where the athletic trainer is taking a look at right now. As Mark Manning and Robert Kokesh approach to see what happened to their super senior. Well, let's go over what's happened so far throughout this match. Jeff Extramulla with Kelby Bachman. Purdue won the 2 opening matches to go up 8-0, including a tech fall in the opening match by Devin Schroder. Nebraska won the next 2 to cut the lead to 12-6. Bubba Wilson came up with a 3-1 win over Hayden Lowry to make it 12-9. But then just last match, the upset of the night, Gerrit Nijenhuis beat number 3 Mikey Labriola 6-4. Gets a takedown with 25 seconds left for the winner and extends this Purdue lead to 15-9 to put this in a must-win situation for the Cornhuskers as Venz close to his first takedown. And there it is. Cuts the lead in half, but doesn't look like riding times become much of a factor. Venz is going to need to let Lyon up and try for another takedown, unless he's going to try to get some back points. But Lyon has been sound defensively.
Yeah, and just a real quick touch on, you got to cut him here, but because injury time was called, Lyon got his choice and chose down and got up. That's how he got the escape, and that's why he was down to start that sequence there. Now he got another escape, so now it's 5-2.
And if you're going to the route where you cut him loose after every takedown, he needs 2 more here.
Yep. And if you're Lyon, this is where you want to be. Your best defense is offense. So getting in on a leg, holding tight, trying to finish, but if you can't, just holding on to that leg, because time is in your favor here.
You're sort of playing dead once you get there on the ground, up to a limit.
Yeah. See, again, dive in on the shot, hold tight, keep good position, because you don't want to put yourself in a position where you can go, feet to back.
"20 seconds to go."
Needs to get his head to the outside there. And looks like Venz almost looked like he was going to give that up there for a second. Yeah, Lyon needs to get his head out of the crotch there.
And 2 points.
Covered both ankles there.
Max Lyon. Back-to-back upsets for the Boilermakers. First it was Mikey Labriola, and now it is Max Lyon defeating number 10, Taylor Venz, 7-2. And now we move on to the second to last match of the night, where 197, Thomas Penola, the number 15, taking on Eric Schultz, rated number 4. But again, it's not over, but if these just stick to decisions for the Cornhuskers, it is then over. So they need a bonus point win, and that's asking for a lot in these last 2 matches that are on paper against 2 ranked opponents.
Yeah, Eric Schultz, he's not new here, so he understands the implications of coming out, trying to get bonus points for your team, try to close this gap. First and foremost, he needs a win. So that's first thing on the agenda. Because Penola is a tough customer. Sorry, Jeff.
I was about to say Schultz is not much of a guy who gets a lot of bonus point wins. He's been productive this year, though. In his 6 wins, 3 of them have come via bonus points, 2 pins, and a major decision. But when you look at the bigger picture, out of his 89 career wins here at Nebraska, only 31 of those are via bonus points. So he's used to winning a lot of decisions, a lot of close matches. Not to say Schultz can do that, but he's not the type of wrestler to do that.
Yeah, it's not impossible. Maybe improbable, but Schultz being a senior, he's got some tricks up his sleeves, and I'm sure if push comes to shove, he can put Penola on his back. But again, Penola in his own right, a tough customer, so Schultz definitely has his work cut out for him.
Penola 13-2 on the year, was 3rd at the Cliff Keen Invite. His big loss coming to number 11, Jake Woodley of Oklahoma, 6-5. And Penola, was 1 win short of making All-American last year at the NCAA tournament, advanced to the round of 12 as the 19th seed in the NCAA.
Yeah, had a great tournament there. Like you just said, made the blood round of 12, 1 win shy of All-American honors. So he's got that on his radar this year. Schultz, on the other hand, had not his best tournament, went 1-2. So both these guys eyeing to get on that podium.
Penola, 2-time NCAA qualifier. He did it in his redshirt freshman year as well. Schultz looking for side control now. 35 seconds left first period.
He needs to limp arm out, yep, like that, and he needs to get to his feet. Now let's see what he does to try to take him down. He went with the trip, and that got him. Good job. Good finish, staying with it, because this Purdue team their defense has been really good today.
Escape Penola, but it's 2-1.
Nebraska has had to work for every point, every takedown they've gotten. They've had to work for.
End of the first period. Schultz leads it 2-1. And Schultz with an escape to make it 3-1. And Schultz, again, one of those 5 super seniors coming back for Nebraska. And one of, if not the big reason, is motivation to improve on what happened last year. Arguably the upset, one of the big upsets of the NCAA tournament last season. Eric Schultz was the number 2 overall seed at 197, and he lost in the opening round, getting pinned by Owen Pence of North Dakota State. And he would go on to win 2 matches, but he would lose another one to finish 2-2 and not place at the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, and that's coming off his second place at the Big Tens. He was at a time ranked number 1 last year. So you know the potential's there for him to get it done. Now he just needs to, put it into action and actually get it done. A lot of confidence though with him. He's been working really hard this offseason. Both guys just kind of, looking, set up their shot, looking for positioning here.
Been pretty stale this period aside from the escape by Schultz. And again, this is the type of Schultz or match that Schultz kind of thrives under, is these low-scoring, grinded-out type matches.
Nice reshot there. So Penola created the action, but Schultz went in on the shot, and there's the takedown. Takedown off a counterattack. That, in college, that's one of the, that's another big difference between high school and college is you got to score off of somebody else's attacks as well. Not only yours, but theirs. Reattacks.
So Penola on bottom.
And a big takedown, to end that period. Instead of 3-1, it's 5-1 now.
And at this point, if you just hold this to a decision, that would force Nebraska to get a pin in the heavyweight match, and that wouldn't even guarantee a victory. And of course, go down to criteria to decide the tiebreaker. Approach the halfway point. Schultz still leading 5-2. Looking for his 90th career win with the Cornhuskers.
Solid career by Eric Schultz. One of those guys that just has continuously gotten better with every year he's been here. Started out, got 7th at the Big Tens as a freshman. Then he got 4th. And he got 2nd and 2nd, so continuing to make strides.
"20 seconds to go."
Got to be careful there. Schultz still creating action, but.
And Schultz now with 8 seconds to go. Looks like he's going to lock this one up. And he will. Eric Schultz gets the much-needed win for Nebraska. 5-2 is the final.